Well, happy Monday to you, church. It's good to be with you today. Say hi to Josiah. We're having a pretty good start to the week, and we hope you are too, on this being the worst day of the week. Thanks for that. I need these. But today we're going to talk about another Hebrew word for worship, and that one specifically today is pronounced shabach. Shabach. Try saying that and clear out your throat. And what this one means is to address in a loud tone, to shout, to commend glory and triumph. And we specifically find this word in the book of Psalms, chapter 145, verse 4, where the psalmist writes, "One generation shall praise, shabach, your works to another, and declare your mighty acts." And this one, yeah, just like that. Exactly like that, actually. And this word has a little significance in our house. And specifically, it was a little over a year ago. Lauren's grandmother was in hospice, and she was slowly going to be home with Jesus. And on a Sunday afternoon, it was right after church. We had just been with you all Sunday morning, leading worship. And I was asked to bring my guitar with Lauren, and we were going to go to hospice and sing to Grandma. I, of course, went kicking and screaming because, in my mind, I'm more than a guy that plays a guitar. I'm more than a guy that sings. And so I didn't really have any choice. Lauren and her mom made me do it. So I packed up a guitar, we hopped in the car, and we went to see Grandma in hospice. And with Lauren's mom and Lauren's aunt, the two of us, we busted open the guitar and we sang with Grandma. And she, of course, was unconscious. She was still alive, but she wasn't all there with us. And we sang. But the cool moment was all the songs we were singing were songs like "Great is Thy Faithfulness," "Good, Good Father," "God, You're So Good." That every so often, as we were worshiping with Grandma, we would hear little noises coming from her. Noises that she hadn't made in days. And those moments were obviously kind of refreshing. So we sang a little bit louder every time we heard one of those. Like, Grandma's, she's still singing with us. She's still worshiping. And of course, I don't believe in coincidences, but after about an hour or so after we had left, before we left, we prayed over Grandma. We said goodbye to Grandma because we knew the time was coming. And Lauren's mom called us and let us know a few hours after we had left that Grandma had gone home to be with Jesus. And it was kind of cool to experience those last moments with her in song, in worship. Ironically, we found out, because Lauren was pregnant with Josiah at the time, very pregnant with Josiah, that we found out after a checkup that she had that Josiah was in the developmental stages inside of Lauren to where he was beginning to hear things for the first time. And it was this awesome moment that we had in our house as a family, where some of the first things Josiah was hearing on this earth was some of the last things Grandma was hearing as she was leaving this earth, and it being our worship time together. It was so awesome, so powerful the way God just made that be a realization in my heart and my soul. And this word sums it all up, that we sang a little bit louder because we thought Grandma could still hear us. We sang a little bit louder from that day on because we knew that He could hear us. And my goal, I guess, as a dad now, and I'm still kind of learning it a little bit every single day, is that those worship moments that we have, whether it's in our house, just the three of us, or whether it's with the church gathered, or even with the online worship that we're doing now, that I hope that when I'm singing and when I'm praising the Almighty, that something is already working on Him, that He hears from my soul the words and the worship that comes out, and He's already thinking in His head, there's something different when my dad sings about this God guy. And that's the goal, because as we know, when we worship together as a church collectively, that if you're having the worst day or the worst week, that you can go to church and you could hear somebody else singing, and your soul longs for that joy. And so you sing a little bit louder, you worship a little bit more. Or you go in and you're having the happiest time of your life. Everything seems to be good, and you go and you could just hear the sorrow and the pain in somebody's worship on a Sunday morning or wherever. And so then your soul starts to sing and starts to worship in hopes that you can raise the spirit and the soul of the person that's in pain. And that's the beauty of worship, and that's what this word comes down to, is that when we worship, when we sing a little louder, when we worship a little louder, when we glorify the Almighty a little bit more, it's contagious. And that's the goal. That's the idea, that the Spirit works in our worship, and not just our worship, just our everyday lives, that the Spirit works in us to where it's contagious to every single person that comes around us. And that's the encouragement today. Wherever you are, if life is good, sing a little louder. If you're struggling, if life is a little hard right now, I encourage you to sing a little louder, because you'll be amazed at how much that the praise and how the Spirit works in that time, or in you, and how it will overflow into other people. And that's all we got for you today. As you can tell, Josiah's a little distracted. He's got a lot of cool stuff to play with. We hope you're having a great day. We love you. We miss you. Tonight is Meditation Monday. Stay tuned. You'll get an email giving you the information to get signed in and logged into that. We love you. We miss you. Hang in there, church.